In this video, we're going to start writing some what are called instance methods. Now you'll notice I've actually changed the title up here from saying writing class methods to just writing methods. And that's because class methods have a specific meaning. And actually that was something I should have changed before I gave it this exercise. So you'll notice that's been changed in both your online note and in the video here. So we're first going to write the get and set methods, which are called accessor and mutator methods. So let's first talk about why we need to do this. So if I go into my circle runner, and let's say I wanted to change C1's x value. So I go C1.x equals 9. And I run this, and then it's going to say, get lost. If we pull this up, let's pull this up here. It's going to say, x has private access in circle, meaning I can't access it directly. So what I need to do is to write what's called set and get methods. And they're very simple methods, but the reason they're there is to encapsulate your data. So I'm going to write a set method for each field that this method has. So we have to write a set method for x, y, r, and col. So here I'm going to say public. A set method is going to return nothing, void, set x, and it's going to take int a. So I just say x is equal to a. My set method is done. Public void set y int a, y equals a. Public void set r int a, y equals r equals a. Public void set color int a, col equals a. Oh, pardon me, this shouldn't be an int, should it? This should be a color. So now we build this, and I see I've forgotten a bunch of semicolons, one there and one there. We build this file, and it runs perfectly. So now if I want to change, say, the value of C1 for x, I say C1.setX, and now we see they pop up, and I can set it to 9. Or I could say C4.setY to 10. And so now if I build this, success. Now the question comes, well, why bother doing this? And I think that's a very valid question. Well, here's the thing. If I was to use this circle class, or a number of people were to use it, there would be a restriction around the only restriction about the variables would be the radius, and that the radius has to be positive. So what I could do is, we already have the skills, we could write some code inside of my main method to ensure that the user is entering a positive value for r. However, that means that, let's say we had to take an input a number of times, that's going to be duplicating the same code a number of times. So what I can do here is I can go right into my set method, and I can now put the various constraints around the set method. So I'm going to do the following. If a is greater than 0, we're going to set r equals to a. Else, and there's lots of things I could do here, and in this case what I'm going to do is say system.out.print. I'm going to say radius must be positive, comma setting, and I can say r not changed. So now what happens is I've put this data inside here, or say this logic, to protect that value r. So if I go run and I run this file, it runs fine right now. But watch what happens if I do this. C4.set r, and I'm going to set it to -10. And I run this file now. And then we get our error message there. And again, it's totally subjective to what you want to do as the programmer. In the next video, we're going to look at get methods.